What's up, everybody? I'm glad to have you here for another episode of the PowerUp podcast with your host, Nathan Shields, aka Osiren. Remember to check us out at www.powerupfighters.com and subscribe via RSS and iTunes for this podcast. Now, I'm the host. My guest today is NappyJin, and we go pretty much with the basic podcast outline that I have written up, but I'm very proud of it because it definitely produced a entertaining and informative podcast interview, and I really hope you guys enjoy listening to what NappyJin has to say about himself, his community, and fighting games in general. You know, that's pretty much it. It's the general podcast outline. I'm sure you'll hear more of it in the future. It's kind of like my format now for just the normal podcasts with players. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and keep on powering up your world, and I will catch you later. All right, well, NappyJin, introduce yourself to all the listeners.
Well, I am Chris B., a.k.a. NappyJin, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I've been a member on Shoryuken.com for 7 years this summer now.
Wow, that's cool.
Let's see, I play Guilty Gear, Blade Blue, and Melty Blood and Tekken at the moment, pretty much.
Okay, cool. Well, we're just doing the general podcast outline to get to know you better as a player and a little bit about your scene and some of your opinions on the fighting games and things like that. So let's just start with the basics. What was the first game you played, fighting game-wise?
Marvel vs. Capcom 2, actually.
Okay, cool.
That was back in January of 2001 was the first time I actually went out and played it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going to the mall with my school band and losing pretty hard to a friend of mine, and I, for some reason, just got really annoyed with that, and I was like, alright, fuck this, I'm gonna get better and start beating people.
Nice.
And then, eventually I found a website called Project X, which was X-Men vs. Street Fighter Online.
Okay.
In, Flash format.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was, interesting to say the absolute least about it. But eventually from that I wound up finding Shoryuken, and I registered then under a different username, and I wound up forgetting my password for that one, so that's how I wound up with the handle I have at this point in time.
Okay. So a lot of the people that I talked to started with Super Turbo. Had you heard of the Street Fighter franchise or the King of Fighters franchise before playing Marvel, or was it basically just Marvel as your introduction to fighting games?
Oh, well, I had heard of Street Fighter prior to that. I played it when I was younger and everything, but Marvel was the first game that actually appealed to me enough to where I would want to compete.
Okay, did you, we're kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but when you went to your first tournament, was it for Marvel?
Yes, it was, actually. At the time that I joined Shoryuken, we were having weekly tournaments here at our arcade.
Nice.
And they were averaging 16, 20 people every week. So we actually had a pretty good scene back then.
Cool. Is that arcade still around?
Actually, no. It closed about 2 years ago.
That's too bad.
Yeah, but that seems to be the state of arcades around here.
Yeah, we have one in Cincinnati, here in Ohio, that is pretty good. They've really taken a liking to the fighting game scene, and I helped them to start to organize a little bit of ranking battles down there. Nice. And the owners, they always, at least once a month, they'll have a nice big sort of, September, they're having something called the Old School Onslaught. They're going to have a separate tournament at the start with all kinds of old Super Nintendo, Genesis, and NES games. And then later in the day, they'll have Street Fighter 4 and I think Blaze Blue.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. They do a good job. I'm hoping that they'll stick around. They sure picked one hell of a time to open an arcade, I'll tell them that. But they seem to be keeping afloat pretty well, so good luck to them.
Yeah, definitely. we still have an arcade in Wisconsin. Well, at least in my general area, it's about 30 minutes away. It's Paul's Arcade.
Okay.
And they have a Tekken 6 BR, which is really the only thing I go there to play.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty decent arcade, I'd say. They have a lock-in once a month.
Oh, cool.
I was actually just there yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Do they let you bring in your own TVs or anything? Hook them up so you can bring your own games?
Yeah.
Nice. That's the best thing I think some arcades can do. If they don't have the games, then let people bring the games.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to get support for your venue somehow.
Exactly. So you started with Marvel, and you had played in your first tournament. Did you get, pretty decent at Marvel, or did you kind of go to your first tournament, you found out that maybe at high level wasn't exactly what you were thinking, and then moved on to another game?
No, actually, I kept going back.
Okay.
Losing was what made me keep playing.
Nice.
Because I don't know, I just don't really get the whole attitude where, you lose and you quit.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't really learn anything that way. I mean, you don't know what you're doing wrong if you don't, put yourself out there to find out what you're doing wrong.
I agree completely. All right,
But,
so it was so who was your first team in Marvel?
Let's see, Mega Man, BB Hood, and Cable.
Nice.
And I thought I was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was 14, and a 14-year-old doesn't think they're awesome.
Hey, there you go. So how did your Marvel play evolve as you started going to tournaments?
Well, eventually I learned what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like just randomly tagging out, trying to score a horrible combo of some sort.
Right.
Using like team hyper combos and whatnot.
Mm.
And just learning how. Just the main thing for me was just learning how to play against certain characters.
Okay. Was there so at your first tournament, if you can remember, was there anyone there that just completely showed you this is how you play Marvel, young man?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you remember do you remember that match or any of the characters they used? Any specific circumstances?
Well, let's see. The first person I played against was one of the Marvel players here, Matt. Goes by Nito on SRK. And he was playing MSP. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? I've been hit. I'm dead. Oh my god, what's happening? I'm dead. I lost. Whatever. That was pretty much what happened my first tournament, and it happened to me twice. So I was like, alright, this kind of sucks, but I'll be back next week.
You said MSP. When was your first tournament?
That was in June 2002.
Okay, so the game had been out. When did it come out? 99, 2000?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so there was enough time for people to have learned all of the tricks of the trade of Marvel, so to speak.
Yeah, or at least enough to cast me to the side like that.
They just threw you back in the waters, like, here you go. Now worth it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like something else.
Yeah, if there's one team to get beat by in the beginning and have the most potential, I think, for getting discouraged would be MSP.
Yeah.
But, oh well.
There weren't really any double snaps or anything. It was mainly the Hypergraph Tempest that killed me because I'm like, what do I do about this?
Right,
and
yeah.
Eventually I learned to get out of that and felt really stupid when I did.
Well, that's how it goes. Alright, let's see here. So we're on Marvel. Do you still play Marvel?
Actually, no, I don't.
Okay. So let's get into that transition. At what point, what game, I should say, got you out of Marvel?
Actually, it was DDR.
Oh, okay. It's really surprising to me how many fighting game players either come from or enjoyed or have some sort of DDR history.
I mean, it was good exercise. I mean, I wasn't really doing anything else as far as physical activity went. So I figured that would be a good way. That and I could kill time in between matches.
Yeah, that's true.
At tournaments, and eventually it was just all right. I don't want to play Marvel anymore.
Okay. Was there anything in particular that turned you off to Marvel?
No, not really. I just think I just got tired of playing, pretty much.
Okay, that's cool. So you were on the DDR craze there for a little bit.
Yeah.
What happened after that?
I actually played Guilty Gear X2 for the first time.
Cool. All
And I
right.
was like, holy crap, this game is awesome. I don't want to play anything else. And I didn't play anything else for a really long time after that.
I'm not too familiar with the earlier Guilty Gears. I'm more Accent Core only knowledge. But you said it was Reload too?
Just vanilla X2.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, what characters were around with that one?
Let's see, everyone but X2. That was just everyone but Robokai, Abba, and Order Soul.
Oh, okay. So they hadn't. This wasn't like super early. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, not familiar with the timeline. But who did you play?
Yeah. Huh?
Who did you play?
I started with Faust.
Okay.
And then eventually I just switched to May because I liked her character design better.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was, when I played Accent Core for the first time for a long time, I played Chip, just because I just liked him, I don't know why. And then, now that BlazBlue is out, and I'm kind of like, looking at Guilty Gear more like, oh, that looks like it can be maybe more fun than BlazBlue. I picked up Faust just because I liked his characters, I just liked how funny he was.
Yeah, Faust is awesome, definitely.
And then after playing him for a while, just kind of feeling him out, I was like, well, let me try somebody else. And I used to mess around with Biken a lot when I played Chip, so I'm going to try to go back and learn her. I just think that she's like got one of the most interesting designs. And
yeah, definitely.
Really like to learn her better. There's a pretty good little mini Guilty Gear scene around where I live. There are a couple players. And then in Ohio in general, I think one of the people in the Dayton thread actually put up a list of all the Ohio players, and maybe like Northern Kentucky. And there were at least a good 10, 12 people on that list who are supposedly either semi or majorly dedicated to the game.
So, awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I've always heard
we
that
have, like, no one here.
Oh, well, I've always heard that the Midwest is like the mecca for Guilty Gear.
Oh yeah, like once you get down into like the Chicago area, that's definitely like one of the bigger areas for Guilty Gear, I'd say. But like around here in Wisconsin, it's a dead zone as far as that goes.
That's too bad. So you mentioned some of your favorite games at the beginning. Refresh my memory.
Let's see. Well, Melty Blood, BlazBlue, Tekken, and Guilty Gear.
Okay. No Street Fighter in there?
Well, I've been playing a bit more HDR these days.
Okay, cool.
I wouldn't call myself a Street Fighter player.
Not a problem. So with Tekken, are you really looking forward to Tekken 6 on console?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially after yesterday. I was like, I haven't been out there in 6 months to play it.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out to play again last night. I was like, holy fuck, this game is awesome. I don't feel like playing anything else. It's just, I think Tekken 6 is just awesome.
Why do you think it's awesome? What about it? What about it has that draw for you?
Well, aside from being beautiful, I just like match flow,
Okay.
the mind game, and everything. Just the way everything pans out compared to other fighting games, at least.
Like the pacing of the match,
Yeah.
or like
like the pacing and just you have to play smart at all times.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about it. There really is no. All right, let's throw this out and see if it works.
Yeah, right. I got you.
And that's one of the things that I've liked about Tekken is that it's consistent with that whole, you can't go into it with a scrubby mindset and come out with the win.
Okay. Really hard to spam stuff in Tekken.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Especially around here.
And the benefits of a good scene.
Yeah.
All right, so what's your favorite character in Tekken 6?
Well, I'm currently playing Elisa only.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with all the different characters in Tekken, but you said Eliza or Elisa? Elisa, okay. Was she in 5?
No.
Okay, so she's
new to
character.
Tekken 6 BR.
Okay, cool. Decided to switch it up a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so then, in your scene, is Tekken the big game?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Definitely. definitely. We have a lot of decent players around here, for sure.
Cool. Are there any other games that people maybe take like on a side, but still are pretty decent at?
Well, let's see. Outside of my area, like not in the Milwaukee area, we have a few people around here who play Street Fighter 4, but I'd say more up in the Green Bay area where Keats lives.
Mm-hmm.
They have, from what I've read, they have a pretty decent scene going up there.
Okay.
But around here, not really. I don't know why that is, but it could just be that I don't really play Street Fighter 4. But I mean, there was a guy doing weekly tournaments at Stonefire Pizza, like 10 minutes from me, but the turnout was so inconsistent that he moved it to monthlies.
Right.
Like, we have 12 people one week, and then the next week, like, there'd be 2 people there. And, well, it just kind of sucks.
Yeah. To be that inconsistent is just not helping anybody. It's like, why worth it? It's not worth it to come out every week.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's also very discouraging to be like, you know, going out of your way and try to get this set up, and then people are just like, you know what, I don't feel like going.
Yeah, definitely.
It could also be the $10 venue fee for the place since it's a pizza buffet, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it'll add up week after week.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you'll be out $30 and wonder what happened.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Oh well. Who else do I know from Wisconsin? Webster?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Webster, I did a podcast with him. I don't think I've done podcasts with many Wisconsin people. Check my roundup. See who's on here. Nobody, okay. Well, you need to send me a Midwest Roundup page then, sir.
Yeah, I think I do. I started on it and I just kind of forgot.
You threw it under the carpet, did you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's not good.
Folder somewhere.
It's not good. That's where the trash goes. Your page is not trash. It deserves its...
It just might be.
No, it deserves its glory next to everyone else's page. I mean,
I suppose.
Yeah, I've got nobody from the Dakotas, nobody from Iowa or Kansas.
Is there even anybody in the Dakotas, though?
You know, I've kind of wondered about the more western, Midwest, like, besides Iowa, I guess. But who else is really playing around there? I don't know.
In the Midwest, or just like towards the Dakotas?
Towards the Dakotas, on the western side. The western half of the Midwest.
As far as games in general, I'm pretty sure Nebraska still has an active scene.
Cool. And then, so it's the Dakotas, Nebraska, and Kansas they're on the far left when I look on my map. Yeah, I've always wondered, like, what are there? Does anyone even live there? Is it just fields? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I've never really like met or really heard of any players from the Dakotas, or fighters at least.
Who knows? They've just been in the lab for years. They'll come out to EVO one year and surprise everybody.
I would not be surprised. Actually, me and a couple of the other Tekken guys around here joke that we're from South Dakota. Just because no one's there, we can say we're the best in South Dakota.
There you go. There should be a major held in South Dakota.
I'd go.
I would too. I'd take a plane for sure. It would be quite the experience. See how many people show up. Oh, wow.
All 7 of them.
Right. Isn't there like a video game history museum in Iowa or something?
I'm not sure.
I thought I saw some advertisement a while back. It was like Iowa, the state where video games were born, or something like that. Probably not that exactly.
Oh.
It was interesting.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it were there.
Well, that's pretty cool. All right, let's talk about your general play style. Are you a turtler, or are you a rushdown, somewhere in between?
Rushdown all day.
Okay, nice. Rush that shit down. I like it.
Except in Tekken, where it's like, alright, I have to wait until I can rush down.
Okay.
But initially it was all just blind rush down, but now it's more of a smart rush down, where it's like going to play safe in your face this entire time and try not to get hit by anything stupid.
Can you give me some specific examples of blind rush down versus smart rush down?
Well, let's see. trying to think of a good example here.
Like Tekken might be a little new, but some of the other games, maybe Melty Blood. I mean, I'm not familiar at all with Melty Blood. Actually, that would be pretty interesting to learn about.
Well, I suck at that game, to be completely honest.
Oh, all right. How about Guilty Gear?
I suck at that too.
Oh, damn.
I don't consider myself to be a good player at most games.
Well, then let's focus on the Tekken 6. What have you been learning? What have you been learning with your Rushdown game with Eliza?
Pretty much just like it's just a matter of I know how a lot of the people around here play, so I know how to force them into
a disadvantageous.
Yes.
Okay.
That's pretty much what I do. I should say, the difference between blind rushdown and smart rushdown would be smart rushdown is knowing your opponent, knowing their character, knowing their options during your attack strings and whatnot,
mm-hmm.
and being able to counter those effectively. Like if you know they don't have anything from this range and you do,
mm-hmm.
keeping yourself outside of their range, but still keeping them on their toes.
Okay. So it's basically knowledge versus button mashing.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
As opposed to getting in their face and going, oh, I'm going to do this. This is
right,
awesome.
right. And then you're like, why didn't that work? I was hitting the button.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, another question I like asking everyone. Your philosophy on counterpicking. What do you got for me on that?
Whatever wins.
Okay. All right. Hey, not bad
Pretty
at all.
much. I mean, some people don't like counterpicking. I personally don't care because if you get counterpicked and you win, it makes your victory that much better.
That's true. So do you counterpick often, or will you counterpick if the situation demands? I mean,
I don't counterpick on purpose. If my secondary character happens to have a good matchup against someone's character that I'm playing against, then that's just how it happens. I don't purposely go out and counterpick.
okay.
And I have a habit of picking shitty characters anyway, so...
You and me both. I just gravitate towards low-tier characters, apparently. That's what I've been told. But,
well, hey, sometimes it works better for most other people, I should say.
Could. And then there are sometimes when I gravitate towards the high tiers, like, I don't know, Viper in Street Fighter 4, she's weird. I'm not even going to worry about that. She's like just all over the lists. But Rachel, BlazBlue, I picked her up, and I didn't really know that she was like uber good. I just thought she was a hard character to learn, and she just seemed interesting. Because I had played Taukaka at first. I watched so many Taukaka videos in anticipation for the game's release, and then when I got it, I played Taukaka, and I learned a little bit of the crazy fling across the screen, claw them down combo that everybody likes to watch. And, it was too much for me. It was too much button mashing. She was just so spazzy, that it would just make me angry.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Viper's not that much better in Street Fighter 4, but I call her Crack. She's just Crack Viper. Can't, she's addicting. I can't put her down. I tried playing Balrog. I tried just switching characters because she frustrates me so much. But she's Crack, man. I can't put her down.
Actually, it's kind of hard to play Lilica, I guess. I guess she's pretty good.
Who was that?
Lilica.
Lilica, is she in Tekken?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, I misheard your question. No, she's not in Tekken. I'm talking about Arcana Heart, actually.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay, cool.
Yes, yeah, that's actually one of the few, good characters I've played.
Okay, on the subject of high tier versus low tier gravitation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, let's see here. We can talk about strategy for your games and your characters if you feel confident in talking about that stuff. Or we can talk about the community you have more, some of the players that you know, local tournaments, big tournaments, kind of the crew that you may have.
Either one is fine with me. I mean, I'm sure we'll go into the other after we go into one.
Probably. Let's then do community. So what's your level of community involvement?
My level of community involvement?
Mm-hmm.
I've been more active recently,
Mm.
just because our scene's grown a lot with the release of Street Fighter 4.
Oh yeah.
We've got a lot of new faces popping up.
Mm.
And I'm trying to get people to come out and play more, but I've actually not had to do that as much. People are actually just taking the time out of their day to come out and play, which is really good because we haven't had that for a while, at least in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
It's been kind of stagnant around here for the most part.
Hmm. So would you like go out on the streets and solicit random people? Hey, play Street Fighter, play Guilty Gear, play Tekken 6, or is it just like a group of people who are kind of the regulars, but they just haven't been coming out lately?
It's pretty much just the regulars
Okay.
that haven't really been coming out. I mean, everybody's on their own games for the most part, or just busy with life, pretty much.
Of course. But they've all been coming out of their own free will lately.
Yeah. It's
pretty cool.
Really nice to see that things are starting to get close to what they were back when I first started playing.
Nice. Let's see. So your scene in general, I mean, is it pretty healthy with these people coming back? Do you feel like they're going to stick around at least for the next year or so before they kind of drift back into obscurity?
At this point, I can't really say, to be completely honest. I'm unsure. Like, I would like to say that it's looking like it'll get back to where it was, but at the same time, I'm being a bit apprehensive because this has happened before, where it's like, oh, awesome, people are showing up, but then they just kind of drop off the face of the earth after one gathering. It's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. Are those mostly just like new people that you never see again, or are there some times where somebody who's been around for a while will come and then they just stop coming?
Well, we've had a couple of people show up, and then after one gathering, it's like, I don't know, like, they just decide they don't want to play, or they don't like playing competitively, and they just decide they don't want to post or come out for any gatherings anymore. And then there's also, we have older players coming back and playing, but they've already moved on in life to other things, and this is more of like a thing that they do on the side.
Mm-hmm. That's understandable. You get your families, get jobs, things like that.
Yeah, exactly. There's more important things.
That's true. That's very true. Can't stay a kid forever, although I would like to try my best.
I think most of us would.
Yeah. Oh, well. I think you can have your cake and eat it too sometimes. Not always, but oh well. That's why I try to keep everything kind of like, I'm not trying to make money doing any of this. I just do it because I love the games, you know?
Yeah.
All the other video games coming out nowadays, God, they suck. It's like cartoons. I don't know if you're a big cartoon fan, but all the older cartoons, Dexter's Lab, even Jackie Chan Adventures, man. Powerpuff Girls, all that old Cartoon Network stuff, and even some of Nickelodeon. It was just so great. The old Saturday morning Warner Brothers, WB Kids, and all that.
Yeah, that stuff was good. Yeah, I know what you're saying now. I only watched a couple of shows on Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network that are actually decent.
Yeah. Oh wow. Changing tastes.
That's what happens when the children get stupider, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for real. There are a couple of shows though I like, Chowder and the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack.
Yes, those are the two. Those are the two of the ones that I was actually referring to. And then, let's see. There's a Mighty Bee on Nickelodeon, which is actually really good.
Is it? I haven't seen that.
It's done by Amy Poehler, so...
Okay. I'll have to check that out.
It's definitely worth watching, I'd say.
Cool. Sounds good. Let's see here. So do some name dropping for me, some shout outs. Who are some of the good players in your area?
Let's see. We got, as far as just Wisconsin as a whole goes, we got Keith and Jenner up in Green Bay. We have Antonio Carmona and Mateo Galvan, both Tekken players, really good Tekken players. And then there's Sammy. He goes by Lil Negrito on Tekken Zaibatsu, and Sparta on Shoryuken, another really good Tekken player. And then we count 6 as Wisconsin.
Okay.
And then, let's see, there's another Tekken player, Super Doom, who's a moderator on Tekken Zaibatsu. Um, let's see. I'm probably forgetting some. There's a couple of people who don't actually really post on Shoryuken these days. There's
Mm-hmm.
Jay Frisco, really good, really good HGR player. And then let's see. There's Nito, who hasn't really been posting these days. He's in the military.
Mm.
Let's see, there's Jose, Sammy's brother, plays Tekken as well, another good player. Let's see, that's really all I can think of at the moment, sadly.
That doesn't seem too bad, but yeah, for an entire state, it is kind of slim.
Yeah, we have a pretty small player base these days. Like I said, back in the day we had like 30 people easily.
Mm. Yeah, that's how things go.
Pretty
So,
much.
what are some of the biggest local tournaments you guys have had in recent years?
We actually haven't had too many big tournaments the past few years. We had about 3 years ago, I want to say, we had Midwest Mango Madness, which was actually a pretty decent tournament. I'd say as far as like, it wasn't a large tournament, but as far as the caliber of players that were there, it was a really good tournament.
Okay, cool.
We had Hatman from St. Louis came out, really good Oscar player. Solis from Chicago, one of the best Marduk players in the U.S. in my opinion, as far as DR goes. Mateo and Antonio and Sammy, Jose, of course. Just, it was a difficult tournament, I have to say.
Nice. What's this most powerful shinobi tournament? I have it on my tournament listings page.
Let's see, that's the Webster's series of tournaments that he does out at Paul's in Racine. That just pretty much whatever people are going to run that they want to play will be played. Like, it's pretty much anything goes as far, like, Smash is pretty much a staple of those tournaments because they seem to have a consistent turnout.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Like, they always get their people there with their systems, they're on time or whatever, and they get everything taken care of. And then everything else is just kind of up in the air because it's just a matter of just like the distance from Milwaukee is kind of like, I don't really feel like doing that today for some people. That is just, I guess, like my mentality is it's just easier for a lot of us to get together here, do a 10-minute drive as opposed to a 30, 35-minute drive to play each other.
Right. That makes sense. Looks like Webster's been banned on Shoryuken.
Yes, he has.
What did he do?
I am unsure, but I'm going to have to chalk it up to being a fuck.
Oh, no.
He's a good friend of mine, but that's real. Like, as far as I've seen on SRK, there's a lot of idiots on SRK, so it has to take a lot for you to get banned, I'd say. So he was just probably being a bigger fuck than most.
Oh, no. Yeah,
but I'm sure he'll be back.
Probably. Yeah, when I spoke with him, he seemed like a nice enough guy, but I could see how maybe he might let a few things out that probably should remain within the confines of not being spoken.
Yeah. That and it was just, there's this whole thing in the Melty Blood Actress Again thread. Well, the original thread, that thread is now closed, but if you want to see some of the things that were said, yeah, you can go ahead and check that out. I don't really know the full story, but...
Were they, like, getting into some sort of argument over Melty Blood?
Yeah, it's special.
Special.
To say the absolute least.
Is it like a decent argument that got carried away? Why would anybody be arguing about Melty Blood?
It was... I can't even remember how it started, but it turned into just being like some of Webster's arguments were off topic and not really solid at all.
Oh, wow.
And it turned into a huge clusterfuck really quickly.
Oh.
And then there were just like 2 pages of complete garbage.
Happens all too often with forums. But I am happy to see that in Six's signature, he has a link to my website. That's very cool.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I'm gonna have to send him. I'm gonna have to rep him for that. Goodness, that's awesome. I'll do that right now, actually. Thanks for putting my site in your signature. That is very cool.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, let's get off the bad topics of forums and people who use them. Let's see here. So you've got some smaller gatherings. Is there anything besides? Looks like there's a Madison Soul Calibur tournament coming up. Doesn't Soul Calibur have a pretty decent scene in Wisconsin?
Yeah, it does actually, up in the Madison area for sure.
I thought that there were like some people who went to like some national tournaments from that area.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If I'm not mistaken, Mystic Bill went. I'm unsure on that. I thought he was going. I'm pretty sure. Him and Jimmy Pikachu Choi.
Cool. So besides the most powerful Shinobi, is there anything else that's being planned for your guys' area?
Not that I know of.
Are you planning anything?
I myself know. I'm
Oh.
not really gonna go for that.
No, why not?
Well, just given the current atmosphere of the scene here.
Ooh, what's the atmosphere? Is it dark and brooding, thunderclouds overhead?
Sheer laziness. Because I know I myself wouldn't really feel like getting up and like trying to organize all that. Just because I've run a lot of tournaments here, and we're all good friends here, so we know like who will and who won't show up.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of like it's just scheduling as well. Is the main thing. It's just people work.
Yep.
People have girlfriends, and girlfriends don't necessarily want to sit around at a tournament all day.
No, that's true. It's unfortunate, but true.
Yeah, so it's like, alright, we'll have to figure something out.
There's always pinball. They could play pinball.
Very true.
I love pinball.
Pinball or Point Blank or something.
There you go. Get them on that time crisis.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, well. But yes, real life intervenes in the world of fighting games.
Pretty much.
Not everyone can live the dream, I guess.
Nope. As much as we'd all like to.
Yeah. But that's how it goes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's see here. So you've been in the scene for quite a while. 7 years is nothing to balk at. How do you feel you have grown as a player in that time?
I've definitely gotten a lot smarter in general.
Okay.
Just as far as my approach to a new game goes, as opposed to trying to beat people right away, I'm taking my time more to actually learn my character and learn the game and just adjust properly.
Now, you were a little down on yourself earlier, saying that you're not very good at any of these games. Do you think that you just don't practice enough, or the competition's just too high? What's up?
Well, it's just a matter of I don't really have any competition in this area. And as far as, like, for a while I was going down to Chicago to practice Guilty Gear, but that wasn't really, like, these days it hasn't been as regular. In the last couple of years it actually hasn't been as regular as it used to be.
As far as people getting together and playing?
As far as just me traveling down there.
Oh, okay. Well, that's too
like
bad.
I said before, life catches up with people eventually.
Yeah. Oh, well. Has it done some catching up for you? Is that the thing? Don't need to go into any details or anything. That's all right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It's starting to.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, hopefully nothing bad. Nah,
I don't think anything bad will happen, but it hasn't yet, so.
Not yet, and hopefully won't. All right. Let's see here. Had some pretty... So you've had gatherings in the past. Maybe find that special person who will reinvigorate the scene a little bit, cure it of its laziness, as you said. We'll see. Let's see here. Let's talk about just a little bit about just 2009 in general. Said that a lot of the newer players have been coming in, but the scene still seems lazy. It's kind of an odd combination.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, it seems like most of the newer players that we have here are working.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, it's a schedule conflict thing as well. It's like when I get home from work, I'm like, I don't really feel like doing anything today.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, all right, I'm not having a gathering. And it's like, from what I've seen, a lot of people around here can't really have gatherings at their place, given due to their circumstances or the situations and whatnot. But it's like I have like 6 TVs here for setups, so I guess this would be the optimal place to have a gathering. And I guess I could take the blame myself just for not really having a whole lot of gatherings here.
Shame on you.
Yeah,
Poor
pretty much.
Shame. Oh, well. I mean, so would you, I don't know, maybe you should start getting a little bit of gathering going. I think I talked to, it was Josh Travis from, he's from Indianapolis, yeah. Indianapolis, he's on the Midwest Roundup. And he said that he started this kind of small, I don't know, as many fighting games as possible sort of tournament. It would just be like pulling fighting games out of a hat, and people would play tournaments for them.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, and it started right out of his house, I believe, or his apartment, whichever. And it's gotten pretty big, he says. He can get like regularly 15, 20 people to show up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe you could...
Oh, go on.
Maybe you could like start something just little like that. Get a few people to come, see if you can throw out a flyer or two somewhere. Who knows?
Yeah, that could work out. Like, I mean, I've noticed with like, there were a couple of people that were at the Stonefire tournament that we were trying, like me and Six were trying to convince them to try and play other stuff. It's just like, no, I love Street Fighter 4. Why would I play anything else? There's too many meters in that game.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, it's just a little on the special side.
Just a little. Oh, well. That's how it works sometimes.
Pretty much.
Let's see here. Well, let's move into some strategy. Wake up some people who are like, I don't want to listen to more about the community. I want to hear about how to kick ass. So which game do you feel most confident in talking strategy about? We'll go with that one.
I mean, I could talk Blade Blue or Tekken at this point, I suppose. I mean, I'd say Arcana Heart, but nobody plays that game, so.
I think, who else spoke Tekken with me? I think it was Six. So I don't think I've had anybody speak Blaze Blue, really. So let's go with Blaze Blue. And who do you play in Blaze Blue?
Huh?
Who do you play in Blaze Blue?
Oh, I guess I play Jin, but these days I've been playing Ragnar more.
Okay. Anything in particular that makes those characters appealing to you? The design, or is it the way they play?
Not really. There's nothing in particular. Like, I initially wanted to play Rachel, but Six plays Rachel, so I figured I'd play a different character just because given, like, the size of our scene and the infrequency that we play each other,
yeah,
it wouldn't make any sense to have two people playing the same character.
Yeah, probably not. Okay, so Jin and Ragnar, you can have one as a main, one as a secondary, no big deal. Let's see here. I just pretty much have some basic stuff for strategy to talk about. Of the two characters, you said you play Ragnar more?
Yeah, recently I have been. Before it was all Jin, for the most part.
Well, since Ragnar seems to be maybe what's fresh in your mind, let's talk about him. I've fought Ragnar. I have a friend who mains Taukaka, and he plays Ragnar sort of on the side. I personally love the Ragnar-Rachel matchup. I find that it's just really easy for her to counter hit him on a lot of his blocked attacks. So talk to me a little bit about how Ragna attacks. What are some of the good strategies for advancement? Getting that rush down started that you were talking about. What are some of his strategies?
Well, as far as what I do a lot of 5B.
Mm-hmm.
I like its range, and when last time I played 6, I got it a lot on counter hit. I use it as a round starter against people that I know are going to come in and try to do something right away. And
sounds like Rachel.
Yeah, exactly. I put it out there, and I pretty much, if it hits, I'm getting damage, and I'm not going to be out of their face for a while, basically.
Right.
I use 5B to start pretty much any pressure string that I'm doing, just because I like the range, and I mean, I'm in a position where I have enough time to see what they're going to do and react accordingly.
Okay. So after you get that 5B hit, are there a couple different combos you like to follow up with, or one that you really stick with really well?
Depending on the situation, I stick with 1 or 2 combos.
Okay. What are those combos?
If I am mid-screen, I will just do 5B, 6A, let's see, jump C, jump E, jump cancel, C, D, into Inferno Divider, follow up, and then see what happens from there, pretty much.
Okay. Will that usually put them in the corner?
Not in mid-screen. I normally do the kick straight down.
Okay.
That's usually how I end that combo, just because I don't really... I just started playing like a week or two ago, so I'm still just figuring out what I'm doing there.
Still warming up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But it's working out pretty well.
Cool. Now, BlazBlue, to me, the corner pressure game is really, really important and really intimidating when you're the one in the corner. So with Ragna, what do you like to do in the corner to mix it up, keep the opponent guessing?
Well, let's see. One of the main strings that I use, I'll do 2A, 2B, and I'll either do 6B, which is an overhead, or I'll do 5C. Just to see, recently what I've been taking and doing is just doing stuff that I know is punishable, but my opponent might not necessarily know. But if they don't react the correct way, then I'm fine, basically. So I should word it.
That's pretty high level. I mean, I've heard of Daigo having that sort of... He'll make mistakes just to see if people will punish him for it. And if they don't, then, well, there you go. You've got some free attack strategies.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm not quite at that level yet. We'll see. I'm still more... It's like I'm not a scrub, not really. But I'm still just kind of learning combos. And mind games are sort of the thing that are now becoming more prevalent, you know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Still working on those 3 foundations.
Yeah.
For the games, and then, you know, once I get more experience, it's when the mind games will come, I guess. I've only been doing this for, around 6 months, since just about the turn of the year. So yeah, not that long.
Time.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, how about footsies? Is 5B, you said? Is that a good zoning maneuver? Just to throw it out there as a poke?
I feel like that's one of Ragna's best pokes, pretty much. Just because it has absurd range. And most of the time I land it on a counter hit.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, it's pretty decent damage. I mean, if you're in Bloodkind mode, I mean, you get, like, at least 4K off of a 5B, so...
Impressive. Let's see here. Defense. Hard matchups. Who's your hardest... I know you don't have many people to play against, but who do you find is your hardest matchup? Even if it's just, like, online play.
My personal hardest matchup... let's see. For me, it's between Noel and Carl for some reason. I don't know what to do in that situation. like against those, I mean, I should say against those particular characters. Carl is just hard for me because I die if I get hit. Because Carl's tough. Very tough.
Do you get sandwiched easily between him and what's her name? Is it Ava?
Nirvana.
Nirvana, okay.
I believe is. Yeah, well, I play against Meta from Chicago a lot online. He's a really good Carl player.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, he's good at forcing you into making a mistake and dying pretty much.
Now, how many infinites does Carl have? Just the one, or are there a couple?
I am not sure.
Do you ever get trapped in an infinite loop?
I get trapped in the clap loop a lot. That's also because, I mean, any good Carl player knows how to set it up pretty well. It's just a matter of, like, I mean, you make one mistake at the wrong time, and it's pretty much game over. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you clap looped. All right, he goes for an air throw in the middle of the clap loop. You break the throw. You still get clapped.
Oh, no.
Damage resets. Awesome.
Yeah, that's the killer, I guess. Oh, wow. Let's see here. Well, since I don't know much about the mind games, talk some mind games to me. Define mind games first, from your perspective.
Mind games from my perspective?
Yeah.
Let's see. I suppose it would be just knowing how to condition your opponent. This mind game is just the process of conditioning your opponent to put themselves in the position that's best for you.
I like that definition.
And just, being able to punish things correctly so that your opponent is, off their game at all times. It's like, man, what the hell am I going to do now? Like, that didn't work. What next? Just like that, pretty much, I guess.
Okay. So when you apply the mind games, is it almost purely the conditioning aspect, or will you ever just flat out predict what your opponent is going to do?
Depending on the player, I should be able to predict what they're going to do. Or if I know the character matchup really well, like let's say in a mirror match, where I know what they're going for because it's the exact same thing that I'm going for, then it's easier. I say it's easier to predict in that situation. But for the most part, it's like I have to go with conditioning people for the most part.
Okay. Nice. What do you think or what do you feel is your general level of knowledge about all the different characters, matchup-wise?
And BlazBlue or?
BlazBlue.
Oh, yeah. Iffy. I'm like in between, I'd say. I haven't really... Like, the last tournament I went to was Find Out 3 in Chicago. And let's see. I pretty much played against characters that I played against a million times, so...
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. So it's just like, alright, I guess I'm still just kind of like, there are some matchups I know better than others, but I'm not where I would like to be as far as matchup knowledge goes.
Yeah, well, like you said, not all the time can be spent on the fighters.
Yeah,
exactly. Simply an impossibility, except for the pros,
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Street Fighter 4 and MLG, and I'm assuming you've heard of Gutex?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what he's been doing, which is pretty impressive, actually. Kind of the inspiration behind my podcast and website as well, even though I don't do things exactly the way he does, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
No disrespect, I just enjoy being different from what he's
originality is kind of hard to find these days.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how original necessarily my website is, as being almost my homage is to Gutex.com, I guess.
Well, as long as you're not X-copying, I suppose it's all good, whatever.
Yeah, he's the Street Fighter podcast. I'm the PowerUp podcast. So I guess we're different. Different enough.
Yeah.
I'm not Street Fighter. I'm not a Street Fighter happy guys like those guys at the pizza place. I'm not Street Fighter only all the time because Street Fighter 4 will make us money.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not really like hopping around because of that. And I'm very proud that I don't hop around because Street Fighter 4 can be a little iffy sometimes.
Yeah.
They'll
just a bit.
they'll fix it hopefully. Oh well. But yeah, I mean, what do you feel about Street Fighter 4? I think Super Smash Bros. Brawl is in the MLG, which is odd. But what about Street Fighter 4? Do you think that would be a good thing?
I don't know much about MLG, so
Yeah.
I don't really know. Maybe.
If there was a big announcement on SureYouCan.com, like, check out MLG, this is the first tournament season with Street Fighter 4, would you be someone who would be interested enough to maybe like watch the first stream of a match or something?
Possibly, depending on who was playing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they would get, they would have to put together teams or something, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would work out. Plenty of California players, that's for sure. I really don't know much about the MLG structure either. I don't know if like a lot of players for a certain game come from a certain region, and that just happens to be, and they're all playing each other all the time. Could be exciting matches, but I mean, apparently those are the only people in the United States playing that game or whatever. So like just seeing a bunch of California players play each other all the time, I'd rather go to Evo.
Yeah.
But whatever. I think it would be pretty interesting if MLG were to have Street Fighter 4. I mean, I've never watched it for Brawl or anything, so I don't know.
Brawl. I don't know. I don't play that game, so.
That was actually my introduction to the competitive scene. I'd been playing Brawl. Geez. I know. I'd been playing Brawl casually with some friends, and we got pretty decent within our own little pool of people. And, the first tournament I went to in Westchester, Ohio, at, what was it called? Them versus Us. I went just to play Brawl because I had never played Street Fighter or Guilty Gear. I mean, I knew of them. I even owned them. Well, I owned Guilty Gear. I didn't own any Street Fighters, actually. But I owned Guilty Gear. And I had played some of the other ones, But it was Brawl that really me and my friends all enjoyed the most. But once I went there and I saw all those things, all those games being played, all those people having so much fun, I was like, wow, this is pretty darn cool.
Yeah, it's definitely, tournament atmosphere, definitely awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh, so what keeps you in the scene all these years? I mean,
I guess at this point it's pretty much it's the people mainly. Like I met a lot of really awesome people through game. Like pretty much all of my best friends are people that I've met through gaming. So I guess that's the main thing that keeps me coming back is just, the people first, and then second it's being able to play competitively. Is what keeps me coming back.
Yeah,
and I don't feel that I've hit my peak yet as a player.
That's a good thing. Keeps you working for it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I've enjoyed meeting all the Dayton crew members, and I've made a lot of really good friends just from using video games as not even necessarily fighting games, but just video games as kind of the talking point to start, or the icebreaker, whatever you want to call it. So it's a very interesting social thing, a social activity, fighting games.
Yes, it is, for sure.
I find it very, very stimulating. It can be a pretty easy way to make new acquaintances, not necessarily new friends. You just
you don't really want to be friends with everyone.
No, not with everyone. Even if they play fighting games, just because you breathe doesn't mean I'm gonna like you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh well. Well. So it's the people. I like that. Because the games will always change, and the people will change too, but for the most part, they stay pretty similar over the years, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Any final topic? We've only got a couple minutes left, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Time flies with the Hour podcast.
Yep.
Let's see here. Let's talk a little bit then about some either current events or the Midwest in general, like the big picture. What do you think you want to end on?
I have no idea. I'm the type who doesn't really want to, like, try and place himself anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody seems extremely angry these days. Just, I don't know, as far as, like, people are just extremely prideful nowadays, which is really odd to me. Like, it seems like more people are being prideful that shouldn't really be like, I'm fucking awesome at this game. Like, I know I'm better than you, and, like, no, you aren't. Like, chill. Put the fuck down, hit up training mode or something.
Right, okay. So people need to maybe chill out a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I say. I think everybody just needs to, like, just relax for a little bit. Mainly, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
All right, well, let's talk just a little bit about the Midwest then. The big picture. I mean, I've wanted people to start traveling around, going to some majors, starting majors in their own states, or not majors, but at least like statewide tournaments. See if you can start some sort of scene in your state, just like once every few months or something like that, host some sort of tournament.
There's actually a pretty decent like, hot-sized tournament in lacrosse out here not too long ago. And let's see, Martin came out, Flo and Perfect Sin from Virginia, I believe. They all came out for that tournament.
Nice.
So that was pretty sweet. I didn't go, but, like, I heard it was pretty awesome.
So there's definitely there's something around there that could be grown into a pretty big scene. It sounds like.
Yeah,
got some what's the word I'm looking for? Energetic or inspired people, such as yourself, perhaps, who can get that kind of thing done.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of, like, getting people motivated.
Yeah.
I need to get myself motivated, even.
Mm-hmm.
I find it easier to just go to a major or something, or just go to a tournament elsewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool and all getting together with people that you know and playing, but what I learned is eventually you become used to playing the way that particular person plays that character.
Mm-hmm.
So you go and you play someone else who plays this character entirely different, and you'll get fucking wrecked. So it's just like, I mean, that's one of the main things that I like to focus on, is just trying to play as many different people that play a certain character as possible, because no two people play exactly the same.
So do you travel often? Or as often as you can?
I travel as often as I can.
Okay. So you said you've gone down to Chicago a lot.
Yeah.
Used to, rather. Was that the extent, or have you gone to even tournaments that are further away than that?
Let's see. I went to Seasons Meetings 3. That was awesome.
Are you going to be making an appearance for the 4th?
Probably not.
Oh, that's too bad.
I don't know which major I'm going to go to next. I'm still undecided on that. But possibly NEC whenever it's announced is what I'm looking at.
NEC, which one is that? What's that?
I think that's in Philadelphia. Northeast Championships or whatever.
Oh, okay. Northeast Championships. Must not have been announced yet.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't have that on my list then. Crap. Because it's not technically part of the Midwest. But yes, the travel is very important.
Yeah. Let's see. see. I went to St. Louis for, they had a Tekken major there last year called Sluts.
Nice.
Tekken strippers. I wasn't there for the strippers, but Tekken was awesome.
Ah. Tekken strippers. I don't know. Cosplay? Cosplay much? I don't know. So if there was...
I'm sorry?
If there was one thing, like, you wanted to just have people remember who, you know, I mean, they're just starting to get into the scene, or they've been in for a while, is it just to travel? To get out to the different regionals and play different people, make those connections?
Pretty much.
Nice.
I mean, you learn more playing against other people than you do on your own or just playing with the same people, unless you have really good people in your area. Unless you have people that, you know, travel and bring back information. I mean, otherwise, you have to take it upon yourself to go out and get that information.
Right.
Because there's only so much you can learn from a video. There's a lot more going on there than you see on that screen when you're watching that video on YouTube.
And if you're lucky, when you go out and visit with those people and play them, maybe get beat by them, beat them a little bit, they could become some decent friends of yours.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. All right. Well, I think that's something positive to end on. I like it. Is there are any shout-outs you want to give or any final words?
Let's see. Shout-outs. Yes, actually, I would like to give a shout-out to Sad Life on IRC.
Okay.
That's, let's see, everyone from Wisconsin, everyone from Chicago. I guess everyone in the Midwest that knows me, pretty much.
There you go. Nice, clean way to get it done.
Anyone I forgot to mention, I'm sorry. If you're listening, you know I'm forgetful, whatever. As far as thoughts, I don't know. I mean, I guess, fuck. I think.
And that's what we'll end on. That's what we'll end on.
Yes, exactly. We'll end on fuck.
Well, fuck.
I guess pretty much I just want everyone in the Midwest to step it up. I mean, there's more to the U.S. than the coast.
Mm-hmm.
Basically. That's what I would like to see is an all Midwest top 8 at EPO or something like that.
There you go.
That's very wishful thinking at this point.
Perhaps one day in the year 2030.
Yes, when all the pro gamers have died off in a cold snap or something.
Right. Oh, wow. Well, all right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, and fuck, I guess.
Yeah, fuck again. All right, NappyJin. Well, thank you very much for coming on and talking with me.
Thank you for having me.
Make sure you get your Midwest Roundup page sent to me.
Oh, yeah, I'll start on that.
Good. It takes but a moment to answer those questions, sir. Make sure you send a nice big picture of yourself cheesing. So,
well, I have all the info typed up and everything. It's just a matter of sending it.
Oh my God! You have to hit a button. I
told you.
That's so horrible.
I told you laziness.
Oh no! Well, thanks again for coming on. It was good
no
talking
problem.
with
Thanks
you.
for having me.
And,
definitely, I'll have to come back.
Definitely, I definitely want people to start being recurring guests. Talk about their scenes. Talk about it doesn't matter. I mean, well-known players, middle-tier players, people who are just new to the scene. I'd like to talk to everybody, get their take on fighting games, why they like them. Yeah. And if I can get recurring guests, then I can have a weekly show. Who knows? But we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. Well, good luck with that, man.
Yeah, definitely.
It's awesome that you're doing this, for sure.
And doing my best, that's
about
for sure.
Time.
It's getting better and better with each podcast, I'll say that much.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you again very much. And,
all right, no problem.
I'll catch you later. Hopefully we can have you back for another podcast in the future.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'll be back.
Awesome. Well,
maybe
hopefully
with more fleshed out info.
Perhaps we'll have to get you to make an outline for yourself next time.
Yeah.